We have rampant abuses going on, and this body is just going to extend the very mechanism of those abuses on the back of the National Defense Authorization Act and say, have a nice day, Merry Christmas, go home and have your turkey, go home and be with your families. That's what's actually occurring.
Wow. And he's right. That's Congressman Chip Roy from the beautiful Republic of Texas, who was on the floor in the House, and he was blasting it because the House sent this bill to Biden's desk. Welcome back to the program. Dana Loesch with you, bottom of the second hour. Amongst the policies that are in this is the Pentagon-funded Pride stuff. That's what they wanted struck out. That also includes, well, there's a bunch of stuff in with that. I mean, it's Pride events that are funded by the taxpayer. These are events that celebrate how you have sex. Why the hell is the military doing that? The military has one job. It's 2 words. Kicking. Yeah. One job, 2 words. That's it. So now we're just going to put rainbows on everything. What is that going to solve, by the way? For real, like, what was the whole purpose of them? What? I don't understand. What is the purpose of doing this? This is like, so that's one part of it. The other part is you have this World War II Lend-Lease thing that provides all the stuff to Ukraine. So we've spent... the spending alone for Ukraine is like $800 million. I'm sorry, what? Yeah. Mm-hmm. And that's off of, looking at this, Council on Foreign Relations, $65 billion already. Or sorry, $75 billion. That's just in aid and logistical support. And this is when, as Red State noted, there was a very interesting piece that Red State had where they talked about how the Pentagon would hit a panic button as it failed the 6th audit in a row. Pentagon, for 6 years in a row, they failed a self-audit of 29 standalone entities. That is $3.8 trillion in assets. $3.8 trillion in assets. 7 of the 29 audited entities achieved a passing score. Jeez. A whole 7? Wow. 7. They got a passing score. The Medicare eligible retiree healthcare fund received a qualified opinion. The auditor found, quote unquote, misstatements. Now, if you do that, misstatements, it's a lie. If you lie to an FBI official, you go to jail. You don't even have to be like swear under oath or anything. If you're talking to FBI and you lie about something, you go to jail. That's why I don't talk to anybody in the FBI. I've literally had conversations with people. No offense. I know there's some really good agents out there. This is not you. It's your bosses. It's definitely not me. It's not you. It's your bosses. But I literally have talked to like really good people who are in the FBI. And as soon as I find out they're in the FBI, I'm like, I can't talk to you anymore. Not that I feel like lying, but I mean, hell, do you even need to lie anymore? So I'm not even exaggerating. Literally, that happened during a church thing with us. I'm not even exaggerating. So the indicting auditor found misstatements. They didn't change anything. You had Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency and the National Security Agency. So yeah, for 6 years in a row, they failed an audit. That hasn't changed, but yet we're going to give them more money and let them do more stuff. Not only are we giving them more money, but we're literally allowing them to do more things without proper oversight. Because you're getting into the FISA stuff. And of course, Biden's going to sign this thing. Of course he is. I mean, it's an asinine thing that we've had all of these. Because Kane, how many Republicans voted for this? You had the number. There were a lot.
147 voted yay on this.
So we have the warrantless domestic spy program that the FBI abused that we've allowed to go through. You know, the same we've allowed the FBI who was tracking parents at school board meetings. Now we're allowing them to do more things. This was authorized by Section 702 of the FISA Act. That was post 9/11, so it's all Patriot Act stuff. And they are able to get warrantless looks at your phone records, emails, other electronic communications. In 2021, the FBI ran more than 3.3 million queries through Section 702 alone. And this is a huge bill. Mike Lee was apoplectic over it yesterday on social media. Because you don't even have to have a warrant. You don't have to have a warrant. I mean, think about all of the abuse that we've seen from the FBI over the past several years. Just look at all of the abuse that we've seen. And now we're allowing them to we're doing more. Because under FISA, under Section 702, the NDAA enables the FBI's ability and essentially tries to nullify the Fourth Amendment. Because in order to have these warrantless searches, you have to deny the Fourth Amendment, the prohibition against warrantless search and seizure. This should be a big deal to you if you're one of the people who thought it was ridiculous that the FBI used the Patriot Act to surveil parents who spoke out at school board meetings and tagged them for their database as quote-unquote domestic terrorism. That should really concern you. If you're one of those people who is very upset over law enforcement agencies watching what you were saying in the wake of COVID, that should really upset you. If you're one of those people, maybe you had questions about the election. There are some people on the right who did, some who didn't, some thought it was entirely stolen. If you had any question, or if you even, hiccuped anything, if you're one of those people worrying about federal oversight on that, then this should very much concern you. I really wish, this is where I get mad at the tribalism of the Republican Party, because all these dudes are out here having a phallus measuring contest. And you know what would have been really great? Particularly if Trump would have done this. If he would have went out there and said, yeah, look at the way the FBI went at people at J6, and you're going to have Congress that's going to vote to enable more of this. Out of all the people who should have been screaming about this, it should have been him. Did he? I see him complaining about other people, but I didn't see him complaining about this. This will affect people long after he is not anywhere near political office. I mean, people literally were imprisoned over unlawful parading. Out of all of the people who had a platform to scream about that, it should have been him. Can you imagine the attention that would have brought if he would have come out and said, look at this NDAA bill. Look at Section 702. Are you one of the people who, where were you on January 6th? If you didn't have to be in D.C. They were arresting people who weren't even there. And we were on air when it happened. We slammed the vandalism immediately. I'm a taxpayer. That's my house. But don't sit here and tell me that people who were literally not even in the complex, that legit were arrested. There's millions of stories about it. There's receipts. There's records. There's affidavit. All this stuff. It was so far above and beyond. It was ridiculous. But now, when you extend Section 702, how does Congress make reforms? This is a question that Rand Paul brought up. How does Congress make any kind of reforms on this? Because now they can collect communications under FISA. I mean, it's like injecting a steroid shot into a Patriot Act. I did not like the Patriot Act. I did not like the argument that people were making about it that, well, if you don't have anything to worry about, well, that's just the thing. What you have to worry about is determined by the political environment anymore. If you just don't even vote the right way, then apparently you've got something to worry about.